Hello. Hey, Lynn. Welcome in, baby. How are you? Hey, Raw Truth. How you doing? Girl, did you get your braids, girl? I seen your post saying you was getting your hair braided. You know I'm a braider, so I was all about it. Hey, Knee Deep. Welcome in, baby. How are you on this lovely Tuesday? Child, I be forgetting what the day is, y'all. This has been one old day, y'all. I am so tired. It's been a very long day of working. Hey, Miss Glenn, Mama Glenn, how are you? It's been a long day, y'all. After I did all of my work stuff, got my kids situated and all that, I actually had a hair client, y'all. So I done been braiding and everything. Like your girl is tired, but I wanted to try and come through and give you guys a quick live, because I do have something to say. And I think it's a topic that hold on y'all, let me clear my throat. I think it's a topic that is relatable to all of us. Let's see who else is in here. Ross says, "Yes, I got my braids on Saturday. My sister did them for me. I just couldn't do the natural any longer. I tried. I don't blame you, girl. I don't blame you. And when our hair ain't right, girl, our whole world is messed up. So I get it." Lynn says, "What time is it for you?" It is 9:24 p.m. here in Germany. I'm driving. Hey y'all. Drive safe, Miss Glenn. Yep, 9:23. Knee deep is on it. I am always 6 hours ahead of East Coast time. Um, so yeah. Let me I need to share my live on my other page. Hey Alicia, welcome in. Hey Hassan, how are you, baby? I am doing great. Thank you so much, Miss Glenn, for my first super sticker. Appreciate you, baby. So very much. I appreciate y'all. So let me share this real quick and then we'll jump right into the topic. Um, I kind of bounce back and forth between my topics, looking at my analytics. Sometimes y'all like for me to break down stories, and sometimes y'all prefer these type of lives from what I have seen. So I've been bouncing back and forth between the two, just to see which you guys prefer the most, right? Um, I know there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of stories and things that we could be breaking down. But I don't want to bore you guys. I like to try to, touch on different things, to give you like a variety or whatever. So today I'm just going to give y'all a nice little pep talk. Hey, Carolyn, welcome in, baby. About when spirits and energies no longer align. And obviously, I am talking about as it pertains to connections and things to people in our life, right? So I will start by saying that Um, one thing I've learned a lot about being a content creator here on YouTube is that you don't always finish with the people you start with, right? And for some of us, we feel like, oh, it's a bad thing, or we did something wrong, or you try to figure out or you try to make sense of it all, right? Like where things went left or how things turned out the way that they did. Hey, Miss Denise, welcome in, baby. Happy Tuesday. And so, I can say personally, I have gotten myself caught up into trying to figure out the why when it comes to certain people's behaviors and things, especially like, hey, Reed, welcome in, baby. Thank you so much for hitting the like. Um, I found myself caught up into, wondering why connections ended or why friendships ended or, and this is not just pertaining obviously to YouTube, but just in life in general, sometimes people grow apart. And I've just come to realize that in a lot of these situations, it's just that your spirit or your energy or whatever word you want to put there, you got for each of you, it just no longer aligns for whatever reason. And it could be several reasons, right? It could be for moral reasons, it could be for personal issues like offenses and things like that. It could be for a number of things, right? And so I wanted to talk to you guys about this because if you're anything like me, I am an overthinker. Unfortunately, it is not something I'm proud of, but it is what it is. Um, but I'm most definitely an overthinker. And sometimes, in my down moments and things like that, I start trying to make sense of things that I should not be wasting time trying to make sense of them, if that makes sense, right? And so, I've been trying to it's like a self what word do I want to use? I guess like a self-reflection piece that I'm trying to work on, because one thing I do understand is that when connections end for whatever reason, like if it did not add anything to your life or take anything away from your life by that connection being ended or cut off, like what does it really matter, right? And that's easier said than done, especially because I think where a lot of us get wrapped up or kind of tangled up into the whole why and the breakdown of it all is because we invest so much into connections, right? And I'm not saying necessarily financially or whatever. It's mainly the emotional piece, right? For instance, you've seen several content creators and things here on YouTube fall out, and then people can't shake back because they're too emotionally invested in the situation, right? So from the outside looking in, you kind of think like, why does this person even care? Like, why can't this person just move on type deal, right? Hey, Mama Three, welcome in, baby. But the part from the outsider stance that a lot of us misunderstand or don't recognize is that when there's a lot of emotional investments into any type of connection, friendship, romantic relationship, business relationship, anything. Hey, Yolanda, welcome in, baby. Thank you so much, Miss Glenn. Anytime there's any type of connection, right? There's some sense of emotional attachment, especially if the connection is, for an extended period of time or some amount of time other than like a brief interaction or whatever. So when you invest emotionally into any type of connection, you're going to go through those motions when the connection disappears or it, turns into something else. And so that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, because I think too many of us hold on to things for way too long. We hold on to connections for way too long because we're convinced that we have to for some reason based off of the emotional attachment and things that we have invested into that connection. And so sometimes holding on to something can do more damage than letting it go. And I think that's an important part to make, right? And it can be challenging because a lot of us, we want closure, we want understanding, and things like that. And unfortunately, some parties, hey, it's me, Key. Welcome in, baby. Hey, Shay T. How are you, baby? I really feel like a lot of us don't realize that sometimes people are just not willing to give you that, right? Like some people are just not willing to give you that closure. Some people are not willing to give you that understanding. And then I also realize that some people are just not mature enough to have an adult conversation, right? And so a lot of situations where spirits and energy and things no longer align amongst people is because um people will allow something that is a simple misunderstanding or a miscommunication to go unchecked for so long, and then it turns into a level of offense, and then the rest is history type deal. So um I just want to have a chat with you guys and just kind of keep us on the straight and narrow about that. Thank you so much, Mama Three. um to keep the main thing, right? And we have to get to a point in our life where if this is a situation where you no longer align with someone, their spirit, their energy, whatever they on, and vice versa, right? You have to understand that if they're not willing to have that conversation, communicate with you, give you that closure or whatever the situation is, you have to get to a point where you accept that and you're able to move forward without that, right? Because at that point, it is no longer your issue, it's a them issue, right? People are working through whatever they working through in their real life or whatever, and people move weird and do weird things for whatever reasons, right? And a lot of times it's not justified. Like people don't know how to have effective communication and things like that, or what you will find is you'll expect that, oh, we're very guilty of saying things like, oh, me and this person is better than that, right? And then you'll find out in those moments where you guys no longer align that you're not better than that, right? And if you were, then there would be some type of resolve. Even if you agree to disagree and decide to go your separate ways, right? There would still be a level of mutual respect there where you can both move forward successfully without there being offense, or any type of resentment and things like that. And so I think that's where we get hung up, um when things like this happen, because we're like, oh, I thought me and her was better than that, or I thought me and him was better than that, and then you find out that you were not, right? So I appreciate you guys coming in, um to kick it with me for a little bit tonight. I'm not going to keep you guys very long. I know it's still afternoon where y'all at, but it's nighttime for me. So, um, and I know that was a long intro, but I promise I will not be long. So anyway, as we go through life, oh, thank you so much, C. Baldwin. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, baby. As we go through life, y'all, our experiences can take us in different directions. Like, for instance, one person might focus on their career while another person focus on personal growth or relationships. And so over time, these shifts can create like a gap in shared experiences and priorities, right? Which is something that can cause people to no longer align. And so as people change and evolve, their values and interests can shift. Thank you so much, Miss Sweets. Second time I've caught you live, and it's like walking in the church here. Not as like walking in the church. I'm dead. And you think he's talking to you. Aw. Well, I'm very glad though that there is something that you can take away, because that is why I go live. Because I want to help people and connect with them, truly. So I do appreciate you, Miss Sweets. Thank you for coming in. Um, but anyway, so as people change and evolve, right, like their values and interests can shift over time. Hey, dope boy, welcome in, baby. And so maybe one person becomes passionate about something, that the other isn't into, like I mentioned previously, right? And this can create a kind of like a sort of distance between the two. Hey, Free, welcome in, baby. Hey, Tammy, baby. What's good? Um, so yeah, it can cause, two people to shift and create a distance and things like that. And so if someone's values shift in a big way, one way or the other, like it could be political, it could be spiritual, it could be ethical, it could be a number of things, right? It can create tension or even lead to a natural separation. Right, like some of the things I've seen transpire here on YouTube, um, when things get hot, right? When it gets hot in the kitchen, you'll start seeing people's true um identity come out, right? You'll see people's um I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Like when people get under pressure, right, or certain levels of pressure, you will begin to see sides of them that you may not have known were there, right? Irregardless to what excuse it was for it happening, irregardless to how much they try to convince you that they are not that way, I'm sorry, y'all. What is inside of you eventually will come out of you. Like it's something I live by. Like you can't convince me otherwise, right? And so the way I live my life, um, is you can't get anything out of me that's not in there per se, right? And so anyway, talking about like going back to my topic, which is like people change and evolve. This is a perfect example of that, right? So, say I say something that is extremely offensive to one of you in my chat, right? You may no longer support me and see me differently. And now your spirit no longer aligns with mine because of, something I stated, or, a way I behaved. It could have been a way I treated you. It could be a number of things, right? And that's just an example of what I'm trying to use when I say, people change and evolve. And sometimes those changes can get you to a point where your spirits and things no longer align, right? We go into connections with people based off of the surface, right? Thank you so much, Tammy, baby. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shay T says, where are you at? What? Where are you at that it's nighttime? Just curious. Oh, I'm in Germany, Shay T. I'm in Germany, baby. Hey Savlani, how are you, baby? So anyway, that's just an example, a quick example of how like sometimes things can happen or transpire to where now your spirit no longer aligns with someone, right? Thank you so much, Free. I appreciate you. It's the love for me, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. And so, like I said, in these situations, it can happen without you even realizing it. And like I said, it can lead to a natural separation. So a lot of us um have witnessed this, or we will witness this, or maybe I should say has witnessed this. Every time it's time for example, a political election, right? Like we need a new president. It happens like every 4 years. We experience this, right? Because again, another example of you will see people in their extremes during these times, right? People you went to school with, people you've been friends with on Facebook for many, many years, people you think you find out a whole nother side sometimes when it comes to politics and things like that. Hey, Humble Me, hi, welcome in, baby. How are you? Happy Tuesday. Shay Baby says, nice, Ashley, love that for you. Yes, honey, it's the love for me. I love it. Um, so anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I keep having a cough and clear my throat and all of that. So anyway, that's just another example of how sometimes in situations you will find that energies and spirits and things no longer align with yours. And so then you will have a natural shift or separation from other people, because you start seeing, oh, okay, well, their beliefs don't align with mine, or maybe they didn't align with mine like I thought, or maybe their beliefs changed in the way they changed. I'm no longer interested in being connected to them, one way or the other. So, anyway, sometimes people grow apart because they're discovering who they are, right? And who they are not. And so that discovery can, take them in a different direction. Um, Sorry. So a friendship or relationship, that once might feel, or you might, how do I want to say it? A friendship or relationship that once fit might no longer serve you like in the same way. And it's hard to keep the connection when you're both evolving in different ways, right? So as you evolve and like your needs and desires change, and this is perfect example of like an actual relationship. This is why people go through divorces and separations and things like that, right? As you evolve, your needs and desires may change. And if those shifts aren't communicated or understood, it can lead to people drifting apart, right? For instance, you guys know I've been married for several years. Me and my husband are not the same people that we were when we first got married. We were a lot younger. We didn't have kids at first. Now we got three kids. We've been all over the world. Like the needs and desires have changed, right? Things that I used to like, I may not like anymore. I mean, it could be something as simple as certain foods or doing certain activities. Like I may no longer be interested in going hiking because my back ain't shit no more. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm throwing that in there being funny, but I'm being very serious at the same time just to give you an example of people change and evolve over time. And unless that's communicated between the two parties, you're going to run into a problem. You know what I'm saying? And it was just an easy example because I'm married, and I want you guys to be able to see this from many different perspectives. It's not just pertaining to, you know, friendships and, social media friends and, like there's so many ways that you can connect this message when it comes to energies and spirits and things no longer aligning, right? So when the energy or connection between two people no longer feels like it's in harmony, or it's a flow, or you're meshing well or whatever, or when someone's spirit no longer aligns with yours, it can feel like a drift, like almost like two different paths that once ran like parallel to each other. They're no longer running parallel, and they're running in two different directions. And so it doesn't always mean something went quote unquote wrong, but it's just that the people involved in the connection have changed, one or the other party or both, and sometimes those changes just don't align anymore. Tammy Baby says, so true, foods I wouldn't date. Dare eat, I love now. Exactly, Tammy, baby, and that's true. Cause like I like even little things like how I told you guys, I'm very like I'm an advocate for like vitamins and things like that. Man, many years ago, I didn't take none of that serious. I'm like, I don't need no vitamins. I'm fine. Like I'm young. I don't need that. It's just like I don't pick on people in the South. People in the South, like they're more in tune with who they are, right? Like when they see people who wear like makeup and do all this extra stuff, they will label them as bougie because in the South it's like, you know, it's not unheard of for people to be like, "Oh, I don't need all that. I don't need makeup. I don't wear makeup." And I can remember like my baby sister, she's a southern baby, honey, up and down. And she's one of those girls. She will get dressed to a T for an event and refuse to put on any makeup. She like, no, I just need Carmex. Girl, we are going to a wedding, girl. I'm gonna need for you to put that shit on just a little bit. Like, girl, you're going to an elegant event. But her mindset and the way she was raised in the South, I'm from the North, right? She was raised in the South. And I've raised in the South some of my life, but not all of my life, right? She was raised in the South her entire life. So in her mind, she's like, I don't need that. And she feels like it's a indirect way of stating or expressing that you're insecure because you wear makeup. You know what I'm saying? And so I've had conversations with her and I'm like, no, like people who wear makeup are not necessarily insecure. Of course, there probably are people who are insecure that wear makeup, but I can say for me, right? I wear makeup honestly very minimally because I like to cover any imperfections in my skin tone, right? Like I have little issues of like hyperpigmentation and things like that, which I feel like it just comes with age over time. You hit the sun in different angles. Over time, your skin can have issues of hyperpigmentation or things like that. So I wear makeup, but I don't like put on tons of makeup, right? So I've expressed to her many, many times that I wear makeup not because it's a level of insecurity. It's so that when I present myself, my face all looks the same color. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want you to see up under my eyes and I got like a dark area or I have a random spot on my cheek on one side from where I had a dermal piercing many years ago and I got it taken out. I honestly got it put in when my 13-year-old, I had just had her and I just got it taken out within the last year because it just got infected out of nowhere. And so it left a spot on my face, like a little small dark spot. And so I put makeup over that sometimes because I want my skin to look all the same color, not me walking out and they like, oh, what happened to your face right there? Like you got one little dark spot. You know what I'm saying? So I've expressed that to her. And of course we agree to disagree. She wears makeup a little bit sometimes if it's a fitting occasion or things like that, but she's just not into that because of how she was raised in the South. In the South, they teach you like be extra natural, traditional, like you don't need this, you don't need nothing. You just need to get up every day and you already beautiful. Like that's how a lot of people in the South, like the older people, have taught people. And so that's just an example. Let's see. Hey Sonia, welcome in, baby. Reed says I never wore makeup either. See, and I mean people have their preferences. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't wear makeup for a very long time. I think I started dibbling and dabbling with makeup when I was about 17, maybe. Um, but before that, I swore by it too. I'm like, oh, I don't need anything. Maybe some eyeliner here or there, some lip gloss or whatever. But it's so many that honestly, that's a whole nother lie. Like I could see people are convinced like makeup mess up your skin and all that. That's not true. Makeup doesn't mess up your skin. What messes up your skin is not taking care of your skin, with the way that you apply the makeup and take it off. That's what messes it up. But there's so many myths and beliefs that people have been taught and over the years to where they're convinced that their way is correct and that there's no other way to see it or whatever. And I commend anyone who doesn't wear makeup and they're confident in that. I don't see anything wrong with that. But on the flip side of that, it's like people who wear makeup are not necessarily insecure either. You know what I'm saying? So people do things for their own reasons. I am from the north in 68. Yeah, Reed. My grandmother is the same way. Honestly, all of my like my aunts and uncles, and they're up in age, anywhere from like late 50s to like late 60s, and they're the same way. Like, so it could be also a generational thing. Tammy says less is best for me. I agree. I agree. But like I said, I don't want to get into that. That was just an example of like how, you know, things change. People change. Like I'm not the same person I was many, many years ago as I am now. Hey Talonda, welcome in, baby, or whatever, and that's perfectly okay. But as it pertains to how people align, I think is the bigger piece and the bigger issues. Um and when it comes to people no longer aligning, it's as if like their energy, their presence, or whatever, it no longer resonates in the same way it once did. And so sometimes it's subtle, like the conversations that once flowed naturally now feel forced or hollow, right? Have you ever been with someone where you've had a situation with them and then you try to reconnect and it's just not the same anymore? Like it happens because people change and people evolve, and the way they see the world changes, and the way they connect with people and things like that. All of that stuff changes over time. Sweet says, I don't wear makeup and always said when I turn 50, I will wear it. Now, 50 plus years later, and still do not wear it. I want to learn. Oh, Miss Sweets, yes, it's fun. I mean, it's so much. Like I said, that's a whole nother live. That's a whole nother live. Um, Thank you so much, Free. I appreciate you, baby. Shay T says, I love this topic because I just had a birthday and my eyes got open real wide regarding friendships and family. My favorite cousin motto is celebrate the people who celebrate you. Exactly, Shay T. And I'm not gonna lie, like I said earlier in the live, we'll find ourselves getting our feelings hurt a lot because we expect like ourselves out of other people, or we think that the connections we have with people is better than it really is. You know what I'm saying? And so it takes me back to the saying, like my mom used to drill it into me so much, and not even her, just teachers, any type of adult figure I've heard so many times in my childhood that nobody owes you nothing, right? And it's like that no one owes you anything, but it makes you, I guess, the way it comes off, especially in the wrong time. Like if your feelings are currently hurt by someone, not supporting you or not being the friend you expected or the connection you thought you had with someone or you thought you aligned with someone, and it's not that, it can put you in your feelings, and it doesn't mean that you feel that the person owes you anything. But in some cases it might make you feel like that. Like I said, um especially if you feel like something just kind of dropped off the face of the earth, right? You kind of want, if you're given the opportunity, sometimes you would like to have a conversation and just say, hey, make this make sense to me. Like, where did I go wrong, for this connection to no longer be effective? Because I mean, it could have been a situation where you offended someone and you didn't realize it, you know. But I'm gonna be real with you. I just feel like we live in a world, or a society where people feel like they don't owe that to people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been normalized for people to just ghost people and just discard them like trash over the smallest thing, and people have different understandings for different things, right? Like I hear people toss the word around, loyal, all the time. Oh, this person's not loyal. Oh, she ain't loyal. She was a snake. She was this. And it's like, well, what is your definition of loyal, right? Because you can't, like, I again, this is a whole nother live too, because honestly it gets under my skin when people throw that word loyal out there, right? Because me being loyal to you does not mean that I have to be in cahoots with your bullshit, right? But a lot of people, that's their definition of loyal. Like no matter what I do, you can't say shit or you're not my friend. And it's like, no, because the friends I have in my life will check the shit out of me. Like, girl, please. Like, you is all the way left with that. You know what I'm saying? And those are the type of people you should want in your life instead of getting angry because whatever someone said to you didn't feel good in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say that I've never gotten my feelings hurt when someone has checked me about something, right? Or when someone is just being honest and saying, look, girl, this is why this is. you know? And it's like it may not feel good, but I could not say that someone is not a loyal friend to me or a loyal family member to me because they told me the truth and I didn't like the truth. That's not being like disloyal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy and I hate when people misuse that word because um I don't know, y'all. I don't even want to get into it because I'll be here for 3 days. Like, I'm serious. It's a pet peeve of mine because people use it so they use loyal and narcissist. Those are like the top two words that we hear all the time. And it's like, do you really know what those words mean? Because me being loyal to you is seeing you fuck up and me checking you and we going through the motions with you, but still having love for you and still having your best interests at heart, right? Like I've shared with y'all, I've gotten into disagreements with my loved ones, but my loyalty to them is I'm not gonna come on here and make them and embarrass them. But I'm most definitely gonna tell you, girl, you has lost your fucking mind and something's wrong with you. That shit was fucked up that you did, and I'm sorry if you don't like it. It might come with a block. I might get blocked for a few months. It's all good, girl. And when you come to your senses, girl, you gonna unblock me. And the next time you do something dumb, I'm gonna tell your ass again. Period. That's loyalty. Not just, yup, whatever you say, girl, yup, that's what happened. Yup, that's how it went. Yup, girl, you ain't wrong. You not wrong at that. All knowing you loud and wrong as fuck. Come on. I was listening to one of Neo's lives earlier today and she was saying something about she was speaking about some back and forth that she's having, but she was saying that if a person cares about you they're not going to sit and watch you break the law per se, right? And I'm gonna leave that there because I'm not trying to mix that into my life because that don't got shit to do with me, but I'm bringing that up as a point to what I'm saying when it comes to the loyalty piece, right? If I'm loyal to you, I'm not going to watch you do something that's going to destroy you, your character, your image, or whatever. I'm not going to stand by and cheer that on. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I get so bothered when people say, "Oh, you not being loyal to me because you called me out on some shit I did wrong." No, baby. That's not how that go. Girl, if you wrong, you wrong. Now, I do believe that there's a way to do something, right? Like I said, I've had issues with my siblings. I'm not going to come online and blast them, for what they did wrong and then say that I'm loyal or whatever. But I'm saying in terms of people openly getting angry at somebody because like they was wrong as fuck and because you didn't go along with it and cheer it on and support it, now you're not loyal. That's not fair. That's crazy. I am Glenn says it's no makeup for me. Thank you so much, Talonda, baby. I appreciate you so much. Miss Glenn says, plus I'm lazy. Girl, listen, me too. But I have to be quick with the makeup. That's why I say I don't wear a lot of makeup. Like I wear liquid foundation. I gave me a brush. It's over. I listen. I could throw me a beat together in like a few minutes. I promise you, it don't take me long. Hey again, I'm finally at work. Oh yay, I love my sister locks. Me too, Glenn. I don't have sister locks, but I do have locks. Talana says, I totally agree, Ash. Period. This is so very true. Yup. Have a good day, Miss. Yes, have a good day, Miss Glenn at work. So like I was saying, like that's just a whole nother piece. And that could also lead to spirits no longer aligning because people have misunderstandings or misinterpretations of what words mean, right? Like even if that's your like even if your idea of loyalty or whatever no longer like it changed or you just got this ridiculous definition of it, right? That needs to be communicated to the other party. And then even if it is, you got to be open and willing to understand that person may or may not be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that may or may not be cool for them. And if it's not, like you got to accept that because baby, sometimes you be left field like respectfully and that's how disconnects and things like that happen um when it comes to connections and things and alignment with people and spirits and things like that, like maybe sometimes you be left field you know so anyway, back to my topic. Hey, Miss Yvonne, how are you, baby? Happy Tuesday. um So anyway, people change, their beliefs, their desires and energy and things like that shift. And so what once felt like what how do I want to say it? Like what once felt like it could have been a match may now feel like it's an uncomfortable clash or an inevitable thing that's going to happen, right? Sometimes you can kind of feel like when a connection is weak or things are on the brink or whatever. We all are very guilty of ignoring our intuition a lot. No shade. I am very guilty of that. And then I'll be so mad when it plays out exactly like I expected. So that's something else that I feel like a lot of us have to take accountability for because you kind of set yourself up for failure, when you know that a connection is weak or it's just no longer the same and you just hold on and hold on and hold on. And like I said earlier in the live, sometimes you can hold on to something so long that it will actually cause you more damage holding on to it than letting it go. So, I think it's ultimately because not everyone grows emotionally at the same pace, right? And this can be tough because sometimes the person who's not growing might feel left behind or misunderstood. And then the person who is growing or who is changing might feel like the other person isn't supportive or on the same page anymore, right? So it just creates a like a never ending dilemma for the two parties, right? So again, communication is key. And if that can't happen, then you know you know how it goes, right? um but I do want to say, like, it's not always intentional when spirits and energies and things no longer align. And it's just good to keep in mind that when someone or one person is excelling in ways that the others isn't, like, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy and resentment. And you already know what that comes with. Then you got issues of jealousy and secret competition and all type of craziness. And like I said, we've seen all this unfold. So I just think it's important that we realize not every relationship is healthy. And sometimes people grow apart because they realize that the dynamic isn't serving them well anymore. And this could be romantically, friendship, it could be any type of connection to a person. It could be family, it could be not family, it could be a number of things. Hey, Lacondes. Hey, Nisi. Welcome in, baby. Um, so the takeaway with this is sometimes people grow apart, because the relationship has served its purpose. And maybe that person was there, for a specific season of your life and you both outgrew each other in that context, right? And so relationships don't always have to last forever to have meaning. And sometimes letting go or drifting apart, it's just a part of the natural flow, right? And I think we all get things misconstrued because when a connection ends or a friendship ends or whatever, right? Like you just no longer kick it with a person or flow with a person or whatever, we start feeling like it was nothing, right? And to be honest, a lot of people are very guilty of that when they get angry or they feel offended and they lash out about it or whatever. The first thing they holler is, "You never meant anything to me anyway," or "I never liked you from the beginning." You know what I'm saying? I can remember, quick story time. Me and my husband had met this couple in, I believe it was Alaska, and everything was beautiful, y'all. They were amazing. Like, we would do double dates sometimes. Matter of fact, I believe she had her son the same month I had my daughter, so our kids were like the same age, all of that. And hubby got deployed. I think her hubby got deployed for like a 1 year tour, which is hard. That is so hard, y'all. And with 1 year tours, they get to come home. They get to pick to come home one time. They can come home at the 6 month mark or after, right? So he came home, I think, at the 8 month mark, y'all. And when he came home, he bought her a car. Like, he was loving on her, but he was very, very distant, like very, like, emotionally detached, right? And she was overly excited because you got to think she's so excited. This man been in the desert for 8 months, and she get to see him for I think the home tour was like 2 or 3 weeks or something. Then he had to go back to finish the last 4 months or whatever. And the energy was off, y'all. Same thing like I'm talking about when you no longer align with somebody. And me and her were talking, and she's like, I don't know, like, she's like, I just feel so bad. Like, it must be a lot on his mind, because he's deployed. And, she trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, dang, he done went over here. I don't know what he done saw or witnessed, blah, blah, blah. Me. She was Caucasian, y'all. I'm black. Okay. So I was like, girl, bye. Like, I'm thinking, like, girl, I would have cussed his ass out. Like, nigga, please. I done been over here 8 months by myself, and you gonna come up in here acting all like, what's tea? I would have clocked it immediately. Like, is this something you need to say? Period. Like, but she's like, no, no, I think he's just got a lot on his mind, blah, 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 blah. Y'all, I kid y'all not. This man comes back 4 months later. He had been seeing some girl over there, some like captain. So it was like all it was all type of nonsense. Cause like you can't fraternize with like higher rank, whatever. The lady was like higher ranking than him. All of that, y'all. They was in a full blown relationship, right? He comes back to her at the 1 year. She's excited to see him. This mug takes the car, the brand new car he bought her, took the car back, gave it to this chick, divorced this girl like immediately. And I think now that I think about it, we were in Vegas. We were in Vegas. Um, Divorced her immediately because in Vegas, baby, you can get married or divorced quick. Okay? Divorced her so fast, told her he never loved her, never cared about her. All that. These people have been married like the same amount of time we had, and I think at that time I had been married like maybe 6 or 8 years, something like that. And I'm like, what? And y'all, she was just so heartbroken. And I was like, this is so fucked up. But I'm thinking, like, girl, I ain't tell her that, but I'm thinking, like, bro, I told you this fool was on bullshit because you mean to tell me you ain't seen me in 8 months and you came home on some dry energy? I would have sent your ass back to the desert. Are you dumb? Matter of fact, when he came back in them 4 months, I would have been gone. Man, this girl hadn't worked, nothing, the whole relationship. He took everything from her. He put her out. Everything. Her and her son put her out. He divorced this girl and he had remarried that girl, the new girl, like 2, 3 weeks later. Weeks, y'all. Weeks. So I share that with y'all to say, like, you gotta know when it's time to move when it comes to energies and things no longer aligning with people, right? Because although it might be hard, although it's challenging, it may not make sense to you or whatever, you can end up in a real fucked up predicament by trying to hold on to something that is no longer serving you and is no longer good for you. Now, in her defense, obviously that's her husband, that's her marriage, so yeah, you gonna fight a little bit for your marriage and stuff like that. But I'm saying when it's not on that level, right? This is just a friend or an associate or something that ain't gonna make no major change in your life. That girl had to start over. He put her out with nothing, wouldn't give her no money. It took all like her access from the bank accounts, everything. The girl had to scrape up money. Hi, Nisi, welcome in. The girl had to scrape up money to try to get enough money to get back to her mom in Texas. So she finally got up enough money to get to her mom in Texas, and she had to live with her mom for a few years because this dude left off in the sunset with old girl he met in the desert on a deployment. And I'm talking to her like, girl, you can have his whole career, girl. Like, I'm telling her, like, girl, listen, he couldn't play with me like that, girl. He would have been under a bridge with a freaking cup. Are you dumb? And she's like, no, 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 I don't want to mess up his career. Girl, fuck his whole career, girl. Playing with me like that. Girl, he put you and your baby out on the street. She's like, no, no, no. I kid y'all not. Maybe 18 months later, when she finally started getting back on her feet, that same girl that was sitting there laughing and taunting her because she had took her husband and all that other shit, contacted her back and said he did her the same way and she had just given birth to a baby and he left her ass too. Talk about my girl Karma. Okay? When Karma spin the block, baby, she spins that mug and she didn't take long. At least she got 6 to 8 years out that nigga. She got what, 12 months? Not even. But it's crazy to me because it's like, how did you even think that you was gonna be successful with the way you got this man? This was a married man. He was a married man, and true enough, he's responsible. It ain't the girl fault, but I'm just saying y'all both knew that he was married. This man had a family. Hey Monique, welcome in, baby. It was just terrible, y'all. But karma, y'all. Karma, listen, let me tell y'all something about karma. While you waiting on people to get their karma and how they treated you or dishonored you or whatever, baby, and they move on with their life, let them move on with their life because karma gonna smack your ass when you least expect it. That girl had to come back and apologize to her. Her conscience wouldn't allow her to move on. You done took this girl husband thinking you done hit a lick. He divorced the first of all, there's so many red flags with that whole story. And the fact that he divorced this girl and then married you less than a month later, you should have known he was not okay in the head. Like, are you dumb? Got her pregnant right away and left her. He left that girl. Talonda says, "Wow, don't play me like that." Do you hear me, Talonda? Girl, when I got through with that nigga, listen, he would have been in the shelter line every afternoon hoping for a bed on baby Jesus. He would have been, and he wasn't paying no child support. She didn't want to put him on child. I was like, girl, you was just dumb, girl. Like you was dumb. This is what Beyonce was talking about, dumb in love. Like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, I was, baby, I was like, all right, girl. Well, good luck with that. I just stopped talking to her because I was like, girl, listen, our energy, we don't align, girl. We are not seeing eye to eye. Because baby, listen, when I got through with him, it would have been up and stuck. And I'm gonna be real, I'm not even that type of woman. I've been with my husband for several years, and I really believe like if we ever were to divorce, like we could be amicable and like raise our children and like it wouldn't be none of that, right? But this type of shit right here, like you taunted it. Why would you buy that girl a car and take it? I said, girl, why? How you let him take your car? Girl, please don't tell me you buying me no car. I want my name on the title, period. Cause ain't nobody pulling up taking nothing that belongs to me, baby. Please, girl. I listen. I'll work with anybody that will work with me. But what you not gonna do? What you not gonna do is play with me, baby. Please, huh? He should put him on child support. That's what I said, Alicia. She wouldn't do it. She would not put him on child support. She's just like, I just hope he does the right thing. I don't want to ruin his career. Girl, please. I would have been on the phone with his first sergeant that day. Please put me out. Boy, please, you go to the hotel. We're staying here. The fuck? And you're paying for it. Boy, please. That crap made me so mad. And that was so many years ago. My baby is 16 now, like, and that's her kid should be about 16 now too. And this was we was in Vegas, so my baby had to be like 4 or 5. Our kids was like 5 years old. But what I will say is, y'all, she ended up finding this dude that loved the ground she walked on, and she got remarried and stuff. I don't know if they're still married. Her and I lost contact or whatever, but he loved the ground she walked on, so she got what was good, what was due to her. But girl, please, that wouldn't have been enough. Fuck that. That man, please. You're not paying me no child support, bitch. You're not gonna be in the military. Period. Fuck out of here. And I told her, I said, girl, y'all been married. I think y'all been married long enough to even get alimony and shit. Like, girl, you're tripping. Girl, no ma'am. He over here collecting benefits because it take a little. I mean, well, they divorce happened really fast, to be honest with you. But even still, he had already took shit from her, put her out, or the girl bye. Baby, I want you to remove me out this house and my name on the lease. Baby, you finna call the cops. May the best man win. Hmm. JT says, "This is my first live with you, Ashley, and your voice is relaxing with cool energy. Also, love how you read the chats. Have us feel engaged with you as the whole time now. Oh, thank you so much, Shay T. That's amazing. Welcome in. I'm so happy to have you." J. Lou says, "I can't stand this conversation when people want to be stupid." Right, for real, J. Lou. Like, girl, I almost blocked her. I swear, I swear to God. Because I'm like, girl, like, you're bugging. I'm like, listen, girl, he's not. And I told her, I said, girl, he's not considering you. Like, what you mean you trying to consider his career? Girl, he's not helping you pay. He done put you out, lock the bank accounts. You don't have no access to no cash. He wouldn't help her get to her mom. How you gonna put me out and not send me home? Boy, you is dumb as fuck. Girl, she crazy. And there are definitely measures and things set in place for military families to protect the spouse. Like, if me and my husband get into a situation, I can definitely contact certain people to get the help and assistance I need. No questions asked. And if he will not, they will force him to. So I was like, girl, you just being dumb. Like, girl, listen, your ass like abuse. Like, did he used to beat you too, girl? Like, that's too much. JT says you're very real. Girl, I try to be, honey. Damn, Ashley up and stuck. Do you hear me, knee deep? Girl, I don't play like that. But honestly, I know the man I married, and I'm so blessed because, again, like, sometimes, like, we as, I don't want to say women, because, I mean, it may be some men in my chat, but, like, us as women, like, we got to stop being stupid. Like, come on. Like, girl, listen, it's a time and a place to be understanding and compassion. And it's a time to show that motherfucker, like, don't play with me, period. Like, get out of here, yo. But again, when you don't know who you married to, it's just like I shared on my page earlier. It was probably like last week now. But there was a girl. Her husband's like a minister or whatever. You guys probably saw it on my page, and she's like crying, just bawling because she done found out this man been cheating on her whole marriage. Girl, how didn't you know that? Girl, bye. Like, first of all, girl, oh, child. I don't understand, baby. It's certain levels of stupid that don't register for me. I'm sorry. You're a very relatable host. I appreciate that, Shay. You cannot fix stupid. Do you hear me read? For the people in the back. I'm like, man, please, girl, listen. I love my husband to death, but he also understands, like, I'm a woman that's not gonna allow nobody. I don't care who you are, what your title is in my life. Like, I love me, okay, more. Period. Like, you don't let nobody walk all over you as a. First of all, you want to go be with somebody? That's fine. Let's go ahead and do this paperwork. But what you not gonna do is tell me I'm gonna be with this girl. I'm taking the car. You getting out. I'm not helping you get back to your mama. You not getting no money. Boy, is you dumb. One of us in here finna die, and it's not finna be me. Period. Hey, Rashida, welcome in, baby. Like, girl, I wish a man, please. I'd call his mama like, hey, your son about to lose his life, girl. And that baby had to have some kind of benefit. Exactly, mama. That's what I was telling her. I'm like, girl, you're bugging, yo. Unbelievable. The military don't play when it comes to that spouse. Exactly, knee deep. I was like, girl, she's tripping. She's tripping. I was like, you know what? If she want to be mistreated like that, girl, go ahead, boo. Because couldn't be me. Girl, bye. Like I said, I wouldn't even been pressed. Like, okay, you want to be a dummy and go with some girl you just met in the desert? Like, that, you already know that shit ain't gonna last. That wouldn't have bothered me at all. I'd have been like, okay, let's do this paperwork real quick. You and old girl, have her come on. Cause she wanna play stepmama. Let's see how much she wanna put in on this child support. The fuck? Baby, please. J. Lou says, girl, by this point, I have to protect my energy. Best of luck to you, baby girl. Right. Girl, I slid real. I told you we lost connection, girl, because I had lost all interest in talking to her. I had lost all interest in talking to her because I was like, girl, you're tripping. You is tripping for real, girl. Like, girl, this nigga don't like you, girl. He told you he never loved you. Girl, fuck him. Girl, please. J. Lou says we too nice and forgiving. Right, J. Lou. But listen, I'm sorry. I don't identify with that no more. I'm nice and forgiving to people who deserve it. Okay. I'm not on no evil demon time. None of that. I would prefer to be cordial and all that. But what you not gonna do is play in my face, baby. What you are not gonna come up in here and tell me not only have you been cheating on me for the 8 months I done sat here and waited on you, crying and lonely, being a single mama and staying in the house and not talking to no other dudes and just being loyal and faithful to you. But you gonna buy me a car and take it back, then tell me, boy, you done lost your whole fucking mind, baby. When I got through with him, he'd have been on somebody's couch. I promise you that. J. Lou says, "How rude! I just walked in and didn't say hello to anyone. Just start." It's okay, J. Lou girl. You welcome here, honey. It is all good. Listen, Reed said that guy knew he had a fool. Do you hear me? He knew he had a fool, and she was sweet. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. She was a sweet girl. She was a sweet girl, y'all. Hey, Tawana, welcome in, baby. Baby, sweet my ass, baby. I would have let his ass hold it. Okay? Play with me. Listen, I'd have been at that fucking chalkboard and he would have fucked around and found out. The fuck? Boy, you done lost your whole fucking mind. Think you finna play with me like that. Honey, I'd have been the biggest thorn in his side. Is you crazy? Hey, yes. Welcome in, baby. Free says it's okay. Ashley has that effect on people, myself included in J. Lou. I love y'all. That car was never for his exactly, Reed. Because I'm telling you, this was like he came home like at the 8 month mark, yo, and then he was on. He came back. The tour was only 12 months. It's a year. So you let that girl drive the car for 90 days, bitch? Please. He'd have been like, I'm getting the car. I'm like, okay, 1 second, I forgot I need to put gas in. I'd have drove that bitch into a tree. The fuck? Now tell her to come get this fucking car now. The fuck? Baby, please listen. I would have had, bitch, listen. I would have turned into Angela Bassett, okay? On freaking Waiting to Exhale. Play with me if you want to. Oh, this her car? Oh, you know what? I forgot my purse in the car. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the key. Let me get the key real quick. Bitch, please. I drove that bitch into a river. Tell that hoe to pick it up here. The fuck? Needy says, play with your mammy, don't play with me. Do you hear me? But again, knee deep. Or wait, was okay. Reed said that man knew he had a fool. That was the other message. That's for real, because people know who they can play with, and they know who they got on their hands. That's what. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. That's why you got to be careful who you connect with, whether it's a relationship, friendship, any of that, which was a topic of this live. Because sometimes people will connect with you strictly because they know your ass gullible, and they know they can get over on you. They know they can manipulate you, they know you weak minded. They know they could pull the wool over your eyes, and they know you so damn thirsty for a connection, or a vibe, or an alignment with somebody, because you feel like you ain't shit, or you feel like you insignificant, or you don't matter, or you not important in life, or whatever. And so boom, they'll rock. They will milk that shit, and you can't be mad at nobody but yourself. You gotta be smarter than that. You gotta be smarter than that. Hey Janice, welcome in, baby. You gotta be smarter than that. People know when they got a fool. So when you're a woman, and no shade, I've been like this my whole relationship, and even before that. My husband knows the type of woman I am. I know the type of man he is. You know what I'm saying? So we respect each other. I know shit I can say to him and shit I can't. Like, we understand each other boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So, and we have enough love and respect for each other to where we're not going to cross those boundaries intentionally, because we care about each other. Right? So, like I said, I get it. People evolve, they drift apart, they disconnect for whatever reason, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't require you to be disrespectful or condescending to the point where you make somebody feel like they were never important to you. The friendship didn't matter. The marriage was trash. You didn't love them. That's why I hate when people break up and then they start trying to talk about the person's sex life and their body parts, and oh, she was this, and oh, she didn't even give it to me right, and she didn't. Boy, please. You've been in that relationship how long? Hey, Pimo, welcome in, baby. You've been in a relationship so long, you know what I'm saying? You wasn't in that relationship that long and it was trash for that long, or are you okay? You know? So it's like, come on now. Like, I don't like when people play games like that. And you can disconnect from people in a healthy way without it turning into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can find a way to connect to people in a healthy manner and disconnect from people in a healthy manner. But you don't have to try to leave them on square zero where they questioning they whole everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, like, I ain't mean shit to you the whole time. It's like, come on, be serious. Like, but people will do that to you. So you just have to, back to what I was saying. Sometimes when the alignments and things like that no longer align with you for whatever reason, and you follow that gut instinct, or you feel that gut instinct. Hey Tinkers, welcome in. When you feel that gut instinct, or things are just off, or they're just not the same, like, just accept it. If you can have a conversation or some type of communication, do that. And if not, be okay either way, right? I know we can all be overthinkers, because no shade, I am an overthinker. I'm not gonna hold you. But I promise you, when I get done doing the math, if that math ain't mathing, baby, I'm telling you, you got a problem on your hands. I'm just playing. Sometimes, but not always. J. Lou says she also might have been feeling overwhelmed, lost, and embarrassed, which could make her resistant to taking action, even if it's in her best interest. I agree, J. Lou. And you got to think, just like myself, when me and my husband got married and we moved away, we were far away from family. Her mom was in Texas. We were all stationed in Vegas at the time. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. Like, maybe she was overwhelmed and just kind of froze. Um, But I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like, I get that, and I don't only because I was definitely being a very, I was being a voice of reason. I wasn't just coming at her like, girl, you bugging. Of course, I did tell her that, but I did, approach the situation with empathy and, made sure she was good, checked on her for a while, kind of let her go through the emotions and things like that. But then I start having those very serious conversations with her, and I'm just saying, like, hey, girl, like, listen. I know you and your feelings. I know you still care about this dude and all that, but girl, at this point, you need to think about what's in the best interest of you and your son. I mean, to the point where not only did you put her out, like you taking the furniture, like y'all would have thought he was this. That shit put me in the mind frame of them damn Tyler Perry movies. You know how Tyler Perry be? Yeah, I know in them Tyler Perry movies, they be putting motherfuckers out in the rain, like throwing their clothes out. like it really was giving Tyler Perry in some ways, like the way he was treating her, like she was just trash on the street. Thank you so much, Tinkers. I appreciate you, baby. So it's like I get it. You could be emotional and all that, but the part. Listen, y'all. Sometimes you got to put your big girl panties on, right? And you just got to do what you got to do through the tears, okay? You can cry in the car, girl, but in the car, I'm gonna need you to cut that mug on, and I need you to be driving to his fucking first sergeant and being like, I don't know what the fuck to do. This motherfucker just put me out, girl. The fuck, like, listen, like, there is no room for stupid when your life is on the line or your survival is on the line. You know what I'm saying? So that's where she lost me at. Like, I get it. But let's be real. Like, people get bad news all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone's ill, or you just lost a loved one, or you just got fired. Like, girl, you can't just sit in the corner and be like, well, I don't want to pursue anything. I know maybe the boss was going through something today. Girl, fuck all of that. The fuck, girl, please. Through tears, I'm about to fuck your whole life up since you just fucked mine up. The fuck? Mm-mm. We ain't doing that. Shay T says, don't test the temperature because you will get burnt the fuck up. Do you hear me, Shay? Do you hear me, Shay? Listen, I'm on whatever you on, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be nice or we could be enemies. Like, and I really mean that. Some people misunderstand me and be like, "Oh, Ashley, like you don't want to fuck with Ashley. She gonna take it there." Yes, I will if your ass take it there. But I'm also someone who I can have a conversation. Even if we enemies, I can have a sensible conversation. Let's just keep it respectful. Because if you're respectful with me, I could be respectful with you. But what you're not gonna do is come up here, or come in my face and you on some bullshit. Because girl, now we both on bullshit and now we not getting nowhere. Point blank and period. J. says, "Yeah, I get it. You can only do so much before it starts exhausting texting you." Exactly, J. Lou, girl. And I exit stage Lil because I was like, "Girl, please." And my husband used to work with him. So I was just telling him like, hey, take notes. Take notes, bro. Hey Zanzi, welcome in, baby. Girl, please. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. Lord forgive me for laughing. I'm not laughing at the woman's face. No, girl, you probably laughing at me trolling. Cause girl, listen. I will start trolling in a hot second. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna jump up off of here. I done gave y'all a good hour. I'm gonna jump up off here, but I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming through and kicking it with me. I hope y'all enjoyed the live and got something from it. I know I started trolling at the end. I will be on my best behavior next time. But that story just took me there, honey, because I just thought about that. Like, yo, I can't believe that dude did her like that. It was awful. Glenn says, yes, I was in a roll call and my earpod fell out my ear and I heard your voice. I'm going to lose my good retirement job. Don't lose your job, Mama Glenn, please, Lord. Thank you so much, Reed. Reed says great live. I appreciate it so much. But anyway, I love you guys. It's short and sweet. I try not to stay on here too long, y'all. It don't take me 8 hours to get my point across. Because I do prepare my lives and things I want to say and I kind of know what I want to talk about, so I don't have to keep you guys for too long. And I know that there are several, content creators that many of us support, so I don't want to be selfish and take up all of your time, but I hope you guys are able to get something from this live. I appreciate all of your support, whether you like the live, engaged in the chat, commented, shared the live, sent me a super sticker, sent me a super chat, bought me a coffee, or joined a membership. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Rashida says, I'm going to catch the replay. Ashley, I know I came in late. Yes, catch the replay, Rashida, so you can kind of get the foundation of what we're talking about. Zanzi says, "Oh, I always miss you. Where replay just left work." Okay, Zanzi, yes, play it over, and that's another reason why I keep them short so that you guys can actually replay them and have time. Right? It's hard to watch a replay if it's 3, 4, 5, 6 hours long, but if it's 1 hour long, it's something that you can replay in a reasonable amount of time. So I try not to be too long winded, but I do appreciate you guys for coming through and kicking it with me for this amount of time. Free says, "Love the live, sis." Love you, Free. Thank you, baby. JT, welcome in once again. I'm so happy that you are here. Welcome to the channel. Says that hour went by so fast. Good night. Till next time. Good night. Well, I'm not going to bed yet, child. I'm gonna be up trolling with my good girl. Child, it's so nice to have a good girlfriend, honey. We be true rolling on the phone. Do you hear me? True rolling. I love her. I wish we was on the same time zone. I'm gonna move to her state when we get out. Thank you, Ashley. I needed that. Oh, Latoya, you're so welcome, baby. TC, what's good, baby? You called me right at the end. You have to catch the replay, baby. Welcome in. Humble Me Hype, always a good time with you. Period. Humble Me Hype. I will definitely be through to see if you've done any content so I can support as well. Humble Me. TC says I'm going to catch the replay. Yup, I'm gonna catch the replay. Love your lives. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Hey, Michelle, welcome in, baby. You called me right at the end, so you have to catch the replay. Glenn says, great live as usual. I have drove to work in roll call and at my desk. Girl, get your money, honey. Did y'all see Miss Glenn's new ride? Baby, go over to Miss Glenn's page. This is her page. Y'all go look at her ride, honey. I want one. The color is so cute. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I love y'all. Mama Three says, please also go like, oh yes, thank you so much, Mama Three. Shout out to my moderators. You guys are amazing. I appreciate y'all so much, and I'm gonna definitely show y'all some love here in the very near future because I love my moderators. Period. So anyway, I love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will talk to you guys on my next live. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.